It's the podcast that wonders why there isn't any communion brie going around with these crackers. It's Power Word Roll.
Salutations and welcome to Power Word Roll. I'm Conrad Grey, the Dungeon Master. I'm here with Naomi.
Hello.
Who is playing
Ayun.
I'm here with Annie.
Hello.
Who is playing
Kia.
And I'm here with Henry.
Howdy.
Who is playing
Gregory.
Is that his full name?
No. I made a new character.
He's a cowboy.
He's a cowboy warlock. Is that alright? I'll just play Greg.
I think
He's
that's
a cowboy instead of playing the cowboy that you usually play. Hey.
He's a different kind of cowboy, yeah. He's a cowman, damn it.
And so, where we last left our players, they were being taken in by the Warlock finders.
That's enough jokes for today. We're in prison and we're dying.
Yes, you were taken in by the Warlock finders, and who are a sect of the Church of the Arcane, who track down those treasonous individuals that make pacts with powerful beings. You were taken by them and teleported to the Arcane Clink, which is a large island prison.
I have an arcane kink.
Hey!
It's a large island prison off the coast from the Vestige Academy.
Requires a big arcane think.
Are we doing the rhyming episode again? Is that happening?
We need to do a rhyming just episode.
Oh,
a whole episode
no, please no. And inside our cage is an arcane sink.
Greg looks over, gives Ayun a wink.
No, you have to say arcane wink. It doesn't work unless you say arcane wink.
But Greg isn't a mage.
It lost the
Sorry,
magic.
I can't do that.
But
You can't be in this prison.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not magical. I'm not allowed in here.
Wizards only.
Wizards only.
Even though they don't even, track down wizards. It's only wizards in the prison.
It's only wizards. It was Kia's hat. They were like, oh shit, a wizard. And that's why they put her in the arcane thing.
It's all been a big misunderstanding.
Day 2 just walked out. All the magical barriers, she went, I didn't get it, and just walked away.
They just forgot about you guys. That's why you're still here. Yeah.
That happens to me a lot.
But no, the Arcane
Dad,
Clink.
are you coming to pick me up? It's been 3 hours.
It's been like an hour and a half, and hockey's finished, and it's kind of starting to rain a bit. I'm just wondering where you are.
It's 6 p.m. and you've probably had dinner by now, and I wasn't there. And you're gonna pick me up from school, Mum?
Well, this is gonna be cut, but just know that poor Naomi.
True story.
Poor Naomi.
My parents had dinner without me once.
Aww.
Where do you think you were?
What? No idea.
What?
Where were we up to?
Arcane Clink.
Arcane Sink, Arcane Wing.
And then, we went off track rhyming.
I'm regretting this name.
Shouldn't have made it so easy to rhyme with.
Yeah, I'm just going to make it.
Arcane Dink.
The Arcane Clink is this large prison complex which is strange and monolithic in its design. It's brutalist almost. These 4 large cubes sort of positioned together in various sizes, held aloft by rushing plumes of water drawn in from the ocean.
They're floating.
Yes.
Fuck.
Being pushed up constantly by jets of water, literally this massive enchantment that keeps it in the air and makes it impossible to traverse to and from without the help of magical aid.
Hopefully they don't confiscate my arcane mink.
They already have.
No!
That mink fur coat is gone.
I'm so upset.
I'm going to the opera and I don't have my mink.
I don't have my arcane mink.
It has been 6 weeks.
We Bugs Bunny'd you, bro.
You have been in prison now for 6 weeks since you were taken. Separated, actually. Kia has, by the measure of the two of you, Ayun and Greg, been missing. You don't know what happened to her, and you've been in a separate cell with Dr. Gainsborough.
I've got a guess, though. She's probably in the prison with us.
Yeah. I actually think she's gone on sabbatical.
From the inside, this place is almost clinical compared to most dungeons and prisons you've seen. The stone brick that's used to construct it, this black stone brick, it's smooth, it almost shines. It's kept very clean, it's kept very clinical, so that nothing can be hidden.
How's it lit
seen.
inside?
It's lit by sort of small magical orbs which sort of dangle from the ceilings, much like the ones you saw in Mud Kabir, sort of on the lampposts, but they're bright white, which gives, again, this clinical feel to the place. It feels surgical, it feels precise.
Feels arcane.
Feels arcane. And we join Ayun and Greg as they're sitting in their cell, and Dr. Gainsborough has been taken out for one of the regular questioning sessions.
I was worried. I thought he's been taken out.
Literally.
For a questioning session. Oh my god.
That was
Ooh,
2 bullets in the back of the head.
Yeah, 2.
Dead and then definitely dead. You always do 2.
Double tap. These have been happening regularly. They will take you out of the cell, they'll take you to a room, strap you into a chair, and question you over a variety of different things you've never heard of, people you've never met, and just thoroughly interrogate you.
This is kind of like Ayun's whole life. People just ask him a lot of questions he doesn't know the answer to.
But this one results in beating.
Yeah, as this is going on, the two of you are in the cell. There's one small window with iron bars.
I think Greg's probably looking out of it.
You're tall enough to, just.
You know what, though? All these lights are making the arcane blink.
And we rejoin our heroes.
Ayun, we've been in here so long, I've got a lack of arcane zinc.
What?
These jokes are bringing me to the arcane brink.
I should have thought that one.
Is there anything stopping me from going mad?
Is this just what you guys have been doing for the last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of come to the point where it was funny day one and it helped them get through it, but at this point it's just like, it's said just to be said.
It's just kind of ingrained in conversation.
Yeah, it's like a reminder of the hope that they used to have.
You can see that you have manacles around your legs that don't...
Do we feel them as well?
Yeah. You feel the manacles around your legs.
How we came together for this very serious episode.
Yeah. You have manacles around your leg that have no chain attached to them. They are sort of arcane in some way. You don't quite know how it works, but they're impossible to get off, and they're quite tight. They're uncomfortable.
So do they hold us down, or can we just walk around? But
you can walk around
like a house arrest bracelet.
That makes sense. Do they do anything to it before we leave the cell to be questioned?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
You don't know quite how they function.
Yeah.
But they evaporate your ankles when you step outside.
Oh god. Oh no.
I think since we've been in here for 6 weeks, I think Ayun is super worried about Kia. But because he's been living in the Fey realm with the kind of things that people consider to be pranks that are not really like pranks, this sort of being imprisoned is more aggravating than upsetting for Ayun.
Is he just kind of thinking, this isn't really funny, we've got things to do, like, I get it, haha, I'm your prisoner, XD, but let me out.
Yeah, pretty much. What is happening outside and why is nothing happening? I think that he's probably one of those people who gets bored.
Oh, totally. I feel
really
like
annoying.
it's taken a little while for Ayun to kind of understand about like the kind of normal flow of time compared to the Fey Wild, and that things have very real consequences. And now he's aware of the very real consequences, and his time's been wasted, and he's like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Yeah.
I think Greg is probably very sad. I think in his heart of hearts, part of him thinks Kia's not going to come back, and another part of him thinks that he's probably going to die here. If you get locked up, especially about the kind of people these are, you don't usually get out unless some extreme circumstance. So I think he's just waiting for that extreme circumstance to happen.
And you can see that as you're staring out of the window, it's the same view as ever. You see the broiling depths of the, like all the water being drawn up from below that makes it, the traversing here very difficult. You also see the roof of one of the smaller cubes. You can see from above that it's the same sort of brick, these square bricks that are sort of polished black. Occasionally there's sort of what seem to be skylights in them. You can see like there are these windows, but they're sort of circular. They seem to be stained glass almost in design, but it's so far away that you can't really make out. You seem to be in the biggest cube. You can see that there are 3 subsequent cubes further down.
Can we see the smallest one past the other 2?
You can't. It seems to be just like obscured by the other cubes.
So are there like animals that nest on top, or did like even animals just stay away, or there are like seagulls that just like sat around?
So yeah, you do see seagulls come along occasionally, and you also see skyfish, which sort of float by in schools.
Does this mean sky whales? I love sky whales!
Does this mean sky sharks?
Okay.
Oh no.
Not sky sharks!
Not sky sharks! Oh no, oh jeez! What do the animals say after, like, Greg did perform the ritual and called out to them?
Well, seagulls have always been quite erratic conversationalists.
That's fair.
They're also bastards.
Yeah, they're kind of douchebags.
I'm imagining Greg casts it. Hello, can you hear me? And they just go, bruh, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
You're in prison? Bruh. We're not.
They're very hard to deal with. What is Greg trying to convey in his conversations with the birds?
I think it finds out just where they are.
So
As in geographically where they are.
You find out it's actually one of the skyfish, one of the schools of skyfish who tend to be more helpful, as they've got a bit more of a community spirit.
Is a skyfish setting up a community centre holding art classes for smaller skyfish who are underprivileged? A skyfish taking little old ladies to Safeways.
The skyfish have a welfare state. You are basically a few miles out to sea from the Vestige Academy.
Okay, fantastic. And then asking if there's a way out, basically, as well. And then they probably said no, and then they went away.
Yeah, they didn't know of any way out. One seagull offers to send message out.
I think Greg asked Gainsborough and Ioun what to say, and then they had a little squabble about it, because it's like 4 weeks into being in prison, and then they look back and the seagull's just gone. I feel like over the time they've asked a couple questions and got vague or unhelpful replies and just...
And it's also because they're sort of these seagulls and these skyfish rarely come to your window, let alone...
I imagine it's quite noisy with the sea and all the roil and all the water and stuff.
It's not a comfortable place to sit. But eventually, as you're sort of staring out the window once again, there's shuffling down the corridor. You can hear some noise from nearby cells as eventually a guard... the guards have this sort of black leather armour, these big capes and these hats with big flamboyant hats with big red feathers sticking out the top.
So just so we cover it, I can't do any magic, I take it.
You don't have an arcane focus. You don't have any of your things.
Big sad.
None of you do.
I've got my horns.
Yeah, you're
You've got your
fine.
horns.
I've got big goring horns.
Yep.
My sword has been taken. Has it been touched by somebody else?
You don't know.
Loads. They've been running their hands all up and down that motherfucker.
Yeah, my boyfriend's gonna be
He's
all
mad.
up in their face.
But you
Anti-magic field, he can't do shit.
you don't know what happened to it.
Okay.
Eventually, you can see that there's that shuffling, and then a door is opened as this guard, a human man, pushes in Dr. Gainsborough, sort of a bit haggard and beat up, and he sort of adjusts his glasses, which are broken and on one side now. And
I would like to tend to him with a wet face cloth.
you don't have a wet face cloth.
Spit in your hand and rub
his
face
wounds.
With
I
your...
have a sink. I have a shirt. I've torn off a ruffle to make a hand cloth to like dab wounds and stuff.
And Greg doesn't turn around from the window.
Oh, thank you, Ioun. And you can see the door slams shut and the guard starts to walk away.
I just yell through the door, "You bastard!"
There's a chuckle on his face as he sort of turns away and starts walking.
I go over to Dr. Gainsborough and it's like, "I'll kill him later."
Sure thing, Ioun. And he just sort of pats you on the shoulder, and then he eventually just sort of rolls onto his back and is sort of clutching onto several points where he's quite bruised. How are you doing, Greg?
Definitely a lot better than you are. Was it bad today?
Yep, they were asking the same questions as last time. I still don't know who Orion Rest is.
I wish these clowns would get some new material.
Of course, absolutely. So, are you seeing anything? Any more birds today?
No, I've kind of given up on the birds, to be honest. Any more schools of fish would be useful, but they don't really come to the window anymore.
You know that dream you mentioned, Greg? That I said might have been my fiancé?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we were talking about it a little while ago.
You haven't had any more, have you?
No. You and Gainsborough mentioned that there must be some kind of anti-magic field that's disrupting your arcane energy, or I don't know, something rather. He's probably communicating in a similar way, so no, I don't think he could get to us even if he wanted to. And that's assuming he wants to.
No, I think he'd want to. I think he'd want to come and help.
Greg smiles, like does a little half smile, like nods his head slightly, and then looks back out the window. Could always try holding you up to the window again, Ioun.
Yeah, it does make my nose run, though.
Yes, and it does. I do feel incredibly stiff afterwards. My shoulders kill.
I thought with it being a different plane, he might be able to just pop in.
That's very difficult.
Well, I think Gainsborough was explaining last time you had this idea, Ioun, and the time before. It's still magic. It's still going to be blocked by the lead.
You can't do teleportation apart from in certain places they've designated here. This place is designed to stop people entering as well as exiting.
Yes, but He's my fiancé, and I know that we had a fight, but I kind of thought that he'd be here by now.
I think this is a little bigger than just the two of you at this point, Ayun.
I still don't think that beings that powerful as the Prince of Frost himself have mortal whims. Ayun, I'm sorry, but I find it hard to believe.
Well, I mean, he said yes.
Are you sure he was telling the truth? Are you sure that he cared? Are you sure it wasn't a game?
I think Ayun sort of, walks to the window.
Do you want me to lift you up?
Emotionally, yes.
No, I cannot offer that, sorry.
Okay. Ayun looks out the window and he just, stops answering. And then he's like, you should rest now, Gainsborough.
Greg puts a big, furry, meaty hand on Ayun's shoulder and then, doesn't say anything and just turns away and goes over to Gainsborough and continues mopping up his blood.
So, you never said, though, Ayun, and I know that... Oh, sorry. Ow.
Easy.
So, yeah. And he's, pushing himself up against the...
Puts his, arm behind him and holds Gainsborough up.
If you're in love with this man so much, and you love the Feywild so much, why did you leave?
Full of pussy-ass bitches, right, Ayun?
Holy shit.
It got me totally off guard.
Well, I've known Siok my whole life. And it's kind of odd, really, spending all your time with somebody like that. We were friends first, but I always knew that I loved him. And then one day, the idea entered my head that we could be married, and I couldn't take it out. So I asked him to marry me, and he laughed at first, but then he said yes. But on the day of the wedding, an old mentor, you would have liked him.
Hold on a second, Gainsborough, and then Greg just gets up and washes the cloth and comes back.
He said it was a joke. He said they were going to humiliate me. And he said they were going to humiliate me for the last time. And he convinced me to leave.
Sounds like a wise man, Ayun, and I'm sorry to say that. People don't trust the Archfey.
I think it was a mistake. I think I can convince him.
How long has he been alive?
In all fairness, I don't know how long I've been alive, Gainsborough.
I wish I had that problem.
And if you could convince him, why would you want to convince someone like that? Surely it's a fool's errand. If they need convincing, it doesn't sound like it's worth it.
Find somebody who doesn't need convincing, surely.
Have you met me?
If I wasn't a married man, be all over you, darling.
You're very sweet, but convincing's kind of what I do. If I didn't convince, I don't think it would feel real at all.
Maybe it's time you started convincing yourself, Ayun, instead of other people.
Yeah, wish I wasn't doing it in a prison, though. You're lucky, Gainsborough, that you found someone. God, I'm so sorry we got you into this. You must be worried sick. We didn't even ask what he's like.
He is wonderful. He is a baker by trade. He makes the best pastries every morning.
Yeah, all right, that's enough.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Well, I mean,
don't be mean, Ayun.
His name's Ryan.
You'll be able to see him again, Gainsborough. We'll all see him.
We knew the risks when I came out to Tashmas. It was always on the table.
Greg kind of puts a hand up. Don't lose hope, Gainsborough. Glances over at Ayun and then back. Sometimes it feels like you're the only one who has hope left.
I'd love you to meet my son as well. Takes after me. Wizard. Good lad.
A good lad who you'll be with for his next birthday.
I hope.
Without a doubt.
Gainsborough turns around. If we can get out tomorrow. A single tear.
Actually, it's his birthday today.
Yeah, today's his birthday.
And we're like,
Ooh!
Next year.
It was his birthday last week, but I missed it because I was in here. I didn't want to mention it because it would have made me very sad. And we're like, that's, next year.
And so we pan out from Ayun's face, just looking despondently through the bars, pan over and through another window further up the largest cube, just a little bit further, into Kia, suspended, floating in the air, her hands sort of, what's the painting of Da Vinci with the guy?
The Vitruvian Man.
She's got like 17 arms or something.
Yeah, I've grown some extra limbs.
Like a spider. She's up on the wall like, yeah.
She's now level 19 and an incredibly powerful warlock. Oh shit, oh fuck.
But she just hasn't left because she wants to freak them out a bit more.
Yeah, she's just gaining power.
Just stuck on the ceiling, just laughing at them.
But suspended in the air with her arms outstretched, unable to move completely.
Like in The Incredibles.
Like in The Incredibles.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
they get captured by...
Yeah, with the same glowing lights as well, but except their arms aren't in the things, it's just sort of floating there. And you can see that there's a ward on the floor and ward on the ceiling that you're being sort of kept between. There's a large contraption in front of you, an arcane device with Saloon's eye resting in the top that is being regularly fired at you in an attempt to get through whatever barrier between the machine and your brain. There's some strange power that they can't quite overcome.
Is it because her brain is empty?
They just keep missing.
These readings aren't right. There must be a barrier. Sis, that head's empty. That's empty. There's one brain cell floating around like a DVD screensaver.
They just keep missing it.
They keep missing it.
I went to the corner again.
They're trying to read thoughts and there's just like nothing.
There must be something wrong with the machine. She must have some mystical power. She's just not thinking.
Kids just there like...
But once again, like every single day, Preston Sinclair, the man who arrested you, is...
He's a syndrome in this, yeah?
None of you were his...
Kia, when I was a young boy,
I was psychic...
allowed to be a warlock, so now I hunt them.
Very good.
Preston Sinclair is sort of pacing up and down, asking the same kind of insane questions, but mostly he's asking about the Arcane Library, about Jigjanasu, though he does not know that name. So, I see you're failing to provide anything once again, and my device is failing to do its work. Are you not tired?
How many times a week does Kia say Jigjanasu just to ruin Preston Sinclair's day?
Because honestly, she would.
Every time you try to say it, just nothing comes out.
Oh, interesting.
As if there's a protection against that, because all those names do that exact same thing.
That makes sense. Makes sense. That's fair.
Preston Sinclair walks around everywhere with Apple earpods.
You are all broke. He's got AirPods.
Do you not understand that this is for the good of our people?
I still don't see how anything I've done has been a problem.
You have communed with some dark power, some strange beast from far beyond.
Strange does not mean dark. I don't know where... Nothing that's happened has been a problem.
Miss Vamora, I know you are not a religious person, but surely you have some kind of moral bone in your body. And though you have been corrupted, you know that immorality comes from the divines.
I may have morals, nothing to do with the gods.
Blasphemy! And he just slaps you across the face with the back of his hand. The rings, just hit your face.
I mean, it's been 6 weeks. That's not going to be that uncommon.
I just like him backhanding
Just spit at his feet. Is Kia badass enough to spit at his feet after getting backhanded?
Can you knee him in the balls?
Well, I don't know. Can I move? Is it...
Incredible
is
style.
all of me,
Incredible style.
unable to move?
You can move from the neck up.
Neck up. Okay, cool.
Yeah, actually somebody comes along and feeds you. It's quite demeaning.
That's a bit weird.
And, yeah. It's a different guard each time, but...
Oh, I thought you meant Preston Sinclair comes and feeds her personally, which I was like...
Come and try this meat, girl.
I didn't mean it that way, no. It's a different guard each time, deliberately, so that there can't be a flow of information.
I thought he was there with soup, like, you will tell me everything. Open wide.
Here comes the aeroplane!
Here comes information about the old ones. Fine, it's just soup.
Soup again.
Soup again.
It's always soup.
But, morality is divine. The divines know best, and we must follow their will, and they're the ones who banished these dark beings.
Just because they won doesn't mean they're the right ones.
Oh, child, you couldn't be more wrong in that statement. Although, we still know so little about this chained guard.
So how can you judge them?
Because you do not go against the will of the divines. And this time he gets the cane that he walks with, and he just sort of butts it into your stomach.
Ugh!
No, you see, we have keen records of nearly every divine, but the knowing one, the chained guard, so little. You are our information, you are valuable, and therefore, child, someone so young, I can get you forgiven in the eyes of the gods.
All you've done is told me I'm wrong. Why should I help you now?
Because as soon as you start divulging, you can be in the right. You can be forgiven.
What if I don't agree that that's right?
Well, then you're wrong. And he once again just smacks you, this time around the face with the cane. You haven't learned a damn thing.
I was just going to say you haven't learned a damn thing, and you're like, well, that's just Kia. It's not you.
What? How do you think I got into this mess?
It's literally
I have no
the problem.
talent for learning.
That is the problem.
I've been telling you.
And I want to know one last thing.
She just stares back.
What did you do with that book? How did you make it disappear?
Bro, it's prestidigitation. It's ubiquitous. You should know.
It's minor illusion.
It's my
There never was a book.
What book?
He reaches a hand out, reveals the book behind Preston Sinclair's ear.
It's behind you. Oh God, it's not a pantomime.
2 cards come out in a horse costume.
That's Greg! No, that's Greg! He's played by 2 actors on their shoulders.
And I'm played by a soap star.
You're the Dane played by a man.
Ah, I just think you should just be like, book?
Who had a book?
You're like, I've read a lot of books, and he's like, lies.
He's like, no, you haven't.
It's been delivered where it should be.
Roll deception. You don't know what happened to the book.
No. Of course I don't. 13.
Lies. Dear sweet lies. Absolute lies! And this time he just like butts at your knee. And just
Like on the cap or sideways?
on the cap, you just hear like a crack. It's painful.
Ah!
I am consistently disappointed, child. If this goes on too much longer, we will have to find other solutions. And I want to save your soul.
I don't think it needs saving.
Oh, it does. And he opens the door and starts to move out. And the contraption is still in the room with you, I will point out. It's been there, the only thing of note, you've sort of almost learnt it. It's quite intricate, but there's the Saloon's eye almost taunting you atop it, sort of connected to this machine.
Is it making a wob wob sound?
It's currently off.
When it's on, does it make a wob wob sound?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a beam that you actually makes that exact noise. And
when it gets turned on, if it ever gets turned on, we're going to edit that in. In the back, underneath, the machine goes on. It's all us.
but here's the thing. It goes in your voices, and everybody in the world is like, who the fuck? The voices?
Who voice acted this? Who voice acted this? No, I don't care. He had been suspended from day one. Did she ever let down?
Nope.
How does she piss and shit?
I figured it was the J.K. Rowling thing of they just magic it away out of your pants.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, that works. As well as the anti-magic field in this room, there is a very important
Anti-poop field.
anti-shit field that just...
And the anti-piss shield is down again. And
no!
It's just pissed
It's the lowest level is just flooded with piss.
And a while passes. You can't see the window, from the direction you're kept at, but you can see the, sort of how the light turns and how it becomes darker in the room before you hear a noise at the bars. Hear whirring and buzzing, and then you see tiny little metallic dragonflies, which are sort of darting around sort of inside the room, and then you manage to just crick your head enough to turn to the window to just see that they're eating away at the steel bars of the window.
God, Jack, took you 6 weeks to make those.
Little fucking dragonfly should have been a piece of piss. What are you playing at? What are you playing at?
He's like, a big titty bird, no problem. Dragonflies.
Big titty dragonflies. Go save my big titty GF. My big titty warlock GF.
Goth GF, yeah, basically.
Big titty warlock GF.
Thank you for listening to Power Word Roll. If you enjoy the show, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Otherwise, a positive review is the best way to help us out. The best place for those is on iTunes. All our social media at linktree/powerwordroll. That's linktr.ee/powerwordroll. But for now, from Annie, Naomi, Henry and myself, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.
being held upside down for so long outside the window.
No, you can't get out of the window.
You can't get out of the window, otherwise you can escape.
Bro!
Oh, yeah.
Prison!
Oh,
We've
this
been able
prison
to-
and its open windows! Whatever will we do? Yes.
His name's, Oh, sorry, what was his name? Frank, what was his name?
It's been so long, I forgot.
I don't know who I am anymore. What's my name?
I'm going crazy in this arcane clink. Can't arcane think anymore.
There was an NPC that you guys were meant to meet who was the oldest wizard in the world, and it would be revealed that he was a sentient sky whale.
You will one day.
You were going to ride around on him.
Not anymore now. Ride the old wizard. Ugh.
I want to ride the old wizard.
Ugh. Double
The old wizard likes it.
He's into it.
That wasn't the issue I had. I wasn't going, maybe the old bastard won't like it. That wasn't it.